Hi, my name is Raheem Nelson, and today we're going to be working on painting the human eye. This is a follow-up video from the previous video on sketching the human eye. So if you haven't seen that one, be sure to check that one out first. Now I'm going to access this color in the corner, which is that aqua blue I mentioned before. So I got that with the dropper tool. I'm going to switch back to my oils. And I'm setting it up where all the paint blends, which is what I want. So I'm just going to press it up against the color I have already, which is this black. So I'll get a little bit of a darker shade, and then I'll get a lighter shade too. Still looking at what I'm working on, so I can make sure it's accurate. And I just want to bring up this color to this corner, and I'm ready to get a different color. So now I'm going to start working on the white of the eye, which is not actually white in the picture. More comes out to a pale grayish kind of green. So I'm going to make my brush size bigger, and then I'm going to start illustrating that part. So I like that. Now I'm going to get the bottom color here. Back to my oils. And then I'm just going to fill that part in. Now for the eye. I'm going to go back to my tool, and then I am just going to start with the outline. Got that color. I'm going to save this. I'm on my top layer still. And very carefully I'm going to do another circle over the pencil that I put down before. So I like that, and I'm ready to go to the other side. And with this part, you want to just move very carefully and just take it slow. So now I want to do the pupil. Select that color, and I'm going to zoom in so I can carefully do this. I'm going to do the white of the eye last because I want to make sure I get in all the other details. So now I'm going to make a new layer because I don't want to go over the work I already have done. Plus button, I'm in the middle, it's highlighted green. And I'm going to start simple, and I'm just going to pick one color from the eye to cover the whole thing, and then I'll start doing the little details. So this will just be one color to start. Okay, so now that I have that, I can start picking up all the other little details in the eye. And I'm going to start from the corners and work my way in. I'm still going around the eye, and I'm almost ready to work my way towards the center. I want to pick up another color from the eye, so I go back to my dropper tool. And now I'm going to start putting in these other colors for contrast. So all the way around the eye. And if you notice, there is a almost bronze colored ring around the eye. So I'm going to get that as well. I want to make my brush size a little smaller. And I'm just going to work my way around slowly so I can get that effect. And I'm not going to get all the colors in the eye because it's very detailed, but I'm just going to get probably one or two more and then I'll be ready to move on. And I want to make adjustments so I can get some contrast. So I'll make this lighter. And then now I've got another shade within the eye. And this one's going all the way around. So I like that, and I want to get just one more shade. Another darker aquamarine kind of color. Make it darker. And then I'll just come around the eye again. So just adding one more shade to this, and then I'm going to be ready to move on. We're going to come back to the eye with a palette knife so we can smooth things out. But for now, we're just going to leave it like this. Okay. So now I'm going to create another layer, and I'm going to tuck it behind what I was just working on, highlighted in green again. Go back to the paint dropper tool and pick up another color from the eye, and I'm just going to paint that in. Now there is shadow behind the eye, so I'm going to pick that up as well. Probably make that a little darker. About there is good. And on, let's see, I will make it on this layer on the very top, because if you remember, the outline of the eye is in a different spot. So these two should blend together nicely. Because I'm seeing color from the eye and then also from the gray that I have as well. So I'll do the other side too. Go really slow on this part. All right, so I like that. I'm going to pick up some more colors from underneath the eye because I want to make that shadow. And I will put this on this layer, and I'll just be very careful so I don't mess up what I already have. And there are a few colors in there, but I'll probably just get one or two. So now I've got a different shade. Let's go back to the dropper tool again. Widen the eye. And I'll start putting that in there. I often find that it's rarely the case the eyes appear white, and especially in photographs. So you kind of have to adjust. But it'll look good when it comes out. So now moving on to the tear ducts. And of course we're moving into territory where the color starts to become pink. So I'm going to make sure I pick that up from the photo. And there's also light that appears. So I will pick that up in the final pass. But for right now, I am just getting the basic colors. So I'm going to blend these two together. And then I'm going to get the last few colors that are on the end. I'm still observing what I'm doing because it's always important. Save icon came up. I'll make sure I save. And I'm going to just do the last part of the duct. There's a part on top that covers the eye. It's kind of like a reddish color. So I'm going to carefully put that in. I'm going to check where my layers are again. So I'm underneath the eyelash, so I'm good to go. I'm going to select my color. I'm going to start doing the top of the eye. Make my brush size a little bigger. So now I'm working behind the eyelash, which is what I want. I'm still looking at what I'm doing, picking up a different color. And it's going to get lighter as I go to the right side. So for the eyelids, we want to make sure that they look semi-realistic. And thankfully I have Insta-Dry off, so I'm going to pick this option here. And then I go back to my brush. And since Insta-Dry is off, I am just going to go over the top lightly. So you'll be able to see that line, but the paint will be mixing too. And it gets thinner. So I'm going to continue to press down lightly as I go from left to right. So I have that line. And I'm going to start doing the rest of the eye. Pick my color again. And there's going to be white left on the canvas. I don't want to do the whole picture like that. I want to leave some white. Now I pick a different color again. And I slowly go from left to right. One more color for the top. And I'm ready to start doing the eye underneath. So I'm going to pick up this color here, right underneath the eye. And I'm going to make myself a new layer that's between these two. And slowly I am going to trace underneath the eye, very lightly. So I get a nice shape. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to go back to this layer, make another layer. So I have two. I'm on this one since it's highlighted green. And I'm going to go in and pick another color that I want. So I'm going to start with this as my base, and then I'm going to pick up some of that shadow. It's asking me to save again. I'll save. And making sure I'm being really careful and precise about the colors I pick. I'm just going from left to right. You can remember to do that, it makes it a lot easier. It's all about breaking down the visual information you have. All right, so it's back to the eyelashes, which are at the very top. I am just going to fill that in slowly, and I'm going to put down a light touch so it look like little hairs. That went a little too far. And they curl as they go into the skin, so I want to make sure I capture that too. And it's all about putting down the right amount of pressure. Since I'm using the Apple Pencil, it is pressure sensitive. And there are less hairs, as it seems, on the subject, so I'll do that. That will do it for the eyelashes. And now I can go back to the layer I was working on. So this part of the eye, the colors are darker. I want to make sure I capture that. Darker shade under the eye. And it gets lighter in the middle because that's where the light is. Now I'm getting towards the middle. I want that color too. And press down a little harder. And now I've got that color. It's all about remembering light and dark and really studying the picture you're working with. There's a lot of shadow over here. Get that color. I'm still studying the picture while I'm working on my own. Now the photo gets lighter underneath the eye, so I get that color. So that'll do it for painting the human eye demo. Be sure to check back for blending the human eye, and that'll be the final part of this video series. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check out my website at raheemnelson.com.